So you see how that's going out? It's been a long day without you, my friend. I'm stimulating the reflexive responses with the straw. Most of our singing happens on automatic reflexes in the body. And even though they're very natural, these are also conditioned responses. So like I tell people all the time, I know how to run, it's natural. But I'm not necessarily conditioned such that I can go and try out for the Olympic track and field team or something like that. I can dance in a regular guy way. It's natural. But that doesn't mean I can go and audition for Alvin Ailey or the American Ballet. I'm not conditioned for that. So there are natural reflexes that we all have, but we've got to exercise them and work them to make them stronger and more sensitive. Now, one of our most powerful tools for this, for awakening and strengthening the reflexes, is what we call semi-occluded vocal tract exercise, or just semi-occlusion, or SOVTs or SOVTEs. You might see it abbreviated in these ways. It's singing through a blocked mouth, and you're already familiar with the concept, even if you didn't know the fancy term. The most ubiquitous example would have to be, so instead of we go, because when we sing through there's nothing blocking us, right? But if we sing through a trill, it challenges my body to wake up, and it takes pressure off the voice. I'm not gonna bore you to death with all the science, but just know that when we block the mouth with proper technique, it can really challenge the body while helping the voice to operate more efficiently with less stress and less strain, which is kind of amazing. Now, in the A approach method, we view SOVTs like lifting weights. So you can have light resistance, or you can put some more, weight on the bar, so to speak, with the more we occlude, the more challenge we have. But just like lifting weights, if we lift too light, don't really get a challenge. If we lift too heavy, we can hurt ourselves. If we lift too heavy before we're ready. So, where do straws come in all of this? The length that a straw provides helps to enhance the effects of occlusion. So it takes more pressure off the vocal folds and helps us to have like a massaging effect. Now I'm using the singing straw kit. Shout out to Whitney at Singing Straw. We do sell these on our site, aapproach.com. A Approach is an official affiliate of Singing Straw, but you can use regular straws. This happens to be metal. You can use paper or plastic. So can we start off with just singing ooh through our straws? If you're using a singing straw kit, use all three at once, like a pan flute, If you're using a regular straw, just go ooh. If you're using the little tiny red straws or black straws, put 3 or 4 together because they're a little smaller than this, especially the black ones. So if you're using coffee stirrers, because we want to watch the pressure. So what we're trying to do is, the first step is establishing healthy pressure. So for me, that's a little too easy. We want to feel some resistance. We want to feel like it's making our body want to work, but not our throat. So let's say right now 2 feels good. If I do 1, that's too much. Now I'm doing a dramatization here, but let's pretend, that's too much, my throat wants to close, so I'll do 2. Or maybe you need to stick with 3. That's fine. Listen to your body. Don't fall into the trap of prideful practice and try to do more than your body's ready to do. Because if you do this whole training with your throat tight, you're just training more tightness into your body, and you're not going to get the results. If you're using a regular size straw, standard straw, use your finger to occlude. So, too easy. I'm going to cover a little bit. It might look like I'm covering the whole thing, but I swear I'm not. I try to, that's good. Or you might want to occlude even more to where it's almost fully blocked, depending on how warmed up you are, your skill level, your experience. So let's talk about what we're trying to feel when we do this. Like, what muscles exactly are we trying to work? If it's not the throat, then what is it? So, getting my straws, I'm going to use 2. You do whatever feels right. Start with your belly. As you're making the sound, don't try to blast through the straw. Don't try to fight the resistance. Let it stimulate a muscular action. Your abs should feel like they reflexively come in and up. This is a natural reflex. It's triggering those transverse abdominis. For those of you who care about such things and know the lingo, it's this in and up lifting effect. It's not a crunching. We're not bearing down. No. we're lifting up. I'm being lifted. The second place, solar plexus, I talk about it all the time. I know it's part of your abs, but it's where your abs connects to the diaphragm tissue. When they work together, the epigastrium, it pushes out. Now I'm very strong in these muscles, so your body may not move as much as mine, but as long as you can feel something happening, it's the upper triangle of the abs, right below the xiphoid process. So this is bone, ow, but then if I go here, I can push in, okay? And I'm pretty strong here, but I can still push in, it's not bone. So we get lifted and pushed out. You see that? Yeah. Unfortunately, many of us are taught very imbalanced support, especially at a university level. I know I was, and I see it all the time, where we're taught, squeeze your abs as hard as you can. No, for the love of God, please no, please no. It doesn't work. Yes, we need our abs to engage, but they should do so reflexively. But we need also for that to be counterbalanced with paradoxical openness, meaning that instead of this collapsing or ribs collapsing, we need pretend I'm holding my straw. We need that to go out. So, what's a typical example? So, and especially, oh God, let's go into this. When people go from two common examples, it's been a long day without you, my friend, or 'cause I give you all of me, you give me all. If we don't have these stabilizer muscles kick in, we end up being breathless. So instead of, so let's do this. If we have this, so we see how that's going out. It's been a long day without you, my friend. I'm stimulating the reflexive responses with the straw. It's taking pressure off my cords, putting the work and the effort on my body where it belongs, the muscles that can handle it. And with repetitious use of this, it gets stronger and more natural, more instinctive. You get the idea. So let's actually jump into connecting the registers with this, because that's one of the fanciest things that this can help you to do. So some of you know how to blend, but your bridge simply isn't strong. So when you want to do, she took I think she took my soul, or I was getting kind of used to being someone you love. If we want a belt mix, if we want to sing hard in that part of our mix, or even if you want to do, I would only be in your way. Even if you want to sing softly, we need to strengthen the connection from top to bottom. So can you try this? Your range is different from my range, we're two different people, but going from this voice down into this voice on a slide, ooh, but through the straw. I don't even know how well you can hear that through here, but I'm doing the ooh slide through the straw. So you might notice that you feel kind of a soft air pocket hump. So you may not have a big obvious, I tend to demonstrate in extremes to make the point clear. You might not be that bad. Maybe you're doing a pretty good job, but you can still feel that little blip where it doesn't quite connect seamlessly. You want to work on that. It's not about, oh, what do I have to figure out? Or no, it's about working it until the body learns. We're stimulating reflexes where we're encouraging the muscles to become more elastic and more flexible. And so the key is, remember your technique though. So we still want to feel the belly comes in and up. What am I doing? Belly comes in and up. Solar plexus goes out. Back muscles engage. It may not cause this big lifting in your ribs the way mine does. It depends on your personal strength level and your body type and a whole host of factors and medical conditions, all that. But you should feel the back muscles kind of kick out, kick backward. Boom, boom, boom. So, yeah. Can you feel that? So, I'm going to throw one more thing if you're more advanced. Our cheeks can puff when we do this. It's not the worst thing ever. Don't freak out. Can we see if instead of making the cheeks puff out, if we can feel the back of our throat space puff out? that yawn space. Can we see? It makes my whole face lift up. That's so crazy. Can we see if we can feel that space open up more than our cheek space? Can we challenge ourselves in that way? So now this brings me to my favorite way to train with these. I love to do what we call substitution. It's when you replace the lyrics of a song with a form of semi-occlusion, in this case the straw. So if we're doing but I always thought you'd come back, tell me all you had was, oh, that was half-assed, but I would go through this. You get it? So the point is, it's so simple if you don't forget your technique. So I'm not just doing, no, I'm asking myself, can I feel my belly, my solar plexus, my back muscles, which flare me out and even paradoxically open up the chest. It's a thing that happens when the lats engage. I go through it with this. I'm going to tell you what most people are going to do wrong. Two things. Number one, when you go to head voice, you're going to let go. Don't. It's not, 'cause I give you all. No, keep the pressure. Even if you have to go down to one straw or block the straw if you're using a bigger one, feel the body connect, or else your head voice is never going to be solid and in control. 'Cause I give you all of me, all of you, yeah. It has to be connected. The breath in your body needs to be as stable as the ground beneath your feet. You can't just do, and you give me all. We can't let go. Keep it going. The other part is this. When we have the I was getting caught, I used to be. When we have stuff like that, it's big, right? But if you do it with a straw, that's so heady. I was getting kind of used. As a knee-jerk response, most singers will go, I'm not doing that. But I promise you, it's the way. So when we sing through straws, we might transition to head voice much sooner than normal. It's not a bad thing. Please trust me. Just try it. It's not going to trap you in head voice. I promise you. It's going to stretch the chords. It's going to build power in the muscles that can handle it. And when you go to sing it, the power will be there. Of course, you're going to have to practice this. You may not be perfect today if it's your first time doing it. You practice it and you get better and better and stronger, blah, blah, blah. We're strengthening muscles. We're increasing the flexibility of other muscles, improving their elasticity. We're dropping tension that's been holding us back. We're doing a lot of things, okay? So also be patient. We're building up the full effect cumulatively over days and weeks, so you're not gonna have your full powers today, but I think you know that. So, but you should notice a significant difference though. It should be significantly improved.